All right. Welcome into this week's edition of the Arkansas Broadband Leaders Network, ABLN. We have some good updates and good content today. So we're going to go ahead and get right into it. All right. So quickly look at the agenda. We're going to give some updates on the BEAD program overall. Then we'll have some updates from our partners. Then we'll have an update from Cam, Digital Opportunity Manager, and hear from him. And then we'll go to the Independence County Broadband Committee for a very interesting conversation around what they've been doing in Independence County around ISP outreach and evaluation. They've done some really, really interesting and good things. And so we wanted to have that team share about their efforts and everything that's going on there, and then open up the floor to discussion and Q&A. So quickly on the BEAD program, as everyone knows, that's our next round of funding for broadband infrastructure across the state. Quick updates here. We have last Friday, actually a week ago, we released a new batch of data specific to the Arkansas Mapping Challenge process that everyone assisted with earlier this year. In short, on this update, we have about just shy of 84,000 BEAD eligible locations across the state, which includes community anchor institutions in that number. Overall, there's over 1,500 BEAD eligible census block groups across the state, and our financial model that we've used to help sort of predict how things can go. A note there, it's just a model. It's not reality. We have to go to go to the market and go to the process and see how things play out. But the financial model, at least as of today, would indicate that the statewide grant amount estimate is around $520 million for grants in this next round of the program. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out as we move forward. Here's a big update for everyone today. So the updated timeline, our round one, ISP application period is going to open and start on Tuesday, January 7th. Okay, so that's the date. We're going to kick off round one Tuesday, January 7th. That first round is going to last for 2 weeks. Okay, so starts Tuesday, January 7th. We'll go through Tuesday, January 21st. Again, it's a 2-week period. At that point, we're going to go into scoring and evaluation, of those round one applications. That's going to last a minimum of 3 weeks. Okay, so from January 22nd through February 12th. It could go longer, right? It all depends upon how many applications we get in, how complex they are, what the volume looks like. And so we have to take all of that into account. But at minimum, there's going to be a 3-week period where we will go in and score and evaluate those applications that we received from our ISPs around the state for round one. And then at that point, we would go to round two after that. So it would start on February 13th or later, depending upon the volume that we get in. Okay. On our pre-registration for ISPs in this process, we updated it a little bit this morning. On our website, we have 35 ISPs that have fully pre-registered for this process. We have one ISP that is in an initial review. We have another 6 that have made it to secondary review, and 4 that are still in the pre-registration process. And so now that we've set our round one opening date of January 7th, you should see the rest of these ISPs get through the process very shortly, we hope, and be able to move on very quickly. So these are great numbers, by the way. When you compare kind of some of the other states and where they are and those number of ISPs that have been interested and pre-registered in other states, our numbers are really, really good. So we should all be excited about what that means for our process. And with that, we're going to hand it over to Philip really quickly to have him give some updates from NTIA. Good morning, Philip.
Morning, Glenn. Thanks. Yeah, so the latest is the data has been, so everything's good on NTIA's end. The challenge process results, NTIA is good with it. They validated the data. So now the next step in the process is now with another reviewing agency, legal, really, and the double checking everything to make sure the data and the process are good, and then it'll be signed by the assistant secretary and be officially approved. I'm hoping that'll take another couple of weeks. We send off the data in the process late last Friday afternoon, so it's been 1 week now, and so I'm hoping another couple weeks. But the data NTIA was good with the data and everything, so it's just a matter of time to make sure everything else is good and have the challenge process approved, and then Arkansas can publish the official locations. But the locations they published already now were good to go with NTIA pending further review. And so that's all I have for everybody this morning. Thanks, Glenn.
All right, thanks, Philip. And with that, we'll turn it over to Cam for updates from the Digital Opportunity Manager and then to our content for today. So take it away, Cam.
Thanks, Glenn. Good morning, everyone. So, no real material updates for the DE capacity program. States continue to get approved. So hopefully, hopefully we have good news soon on that front. I wanted to do a little precursor to Independence County and House presentation. I think it's important to note, we have 54 counties have organized at this point. We still got 21 to go. We were able to do some quick math in those 21 counties. Our financial model indicates that the B infrastructure potential grants will be over $100 million. I think that's important because that'd be $100 million vested in the community regardless through the BE program without a community input via a letter of support. And we anticipate it not being a letter of support if you don't have a county committee established yet. So I think it's important. We want to establish those, get to 75, get to actively participating, actively meeting across the state. But I think that stands out. Additionally, in order to help county committees make a better connection with the RSP community, we want to post can't speak this morning. We wanted to post our Broadband County leaders new email list on our website in some capacity. I'm going to establish a survey and get that out you guys today. Or get that news out, get that survey out to the leaders today in order to get your approval. Want your approval. We don't want to post your contact information, email addresses on the web if you guys don't approve. So be looking for an update from me later today, separate from the notes. And so I want to pass it on to Hal. Hal is a tremendous leader in Independence County. They're doing great work. And we wanted you to take a look at what they're doing to interview ISPs in preparation for the BE program. Take it away, Hal.
Good morning. Cam, you're going to advance the slides for me?
Yes,
yeah,
Glenn.
Thank you very much. So earlier this year, we set about learning as much as we could about ISPs that were active in our county and those likely to be active in our county. We identified 15 that we wanted to interview. And so the county judge issued invitations and attached a discussion guide that we developed to aid in bringing some order to those interviews. We scheduled the meetings over the course of 2 months. They were all private sessions, about an hour and a half each. And our promise was that all of the discussions would be confidential. Any information shared, any documents shared, any maps shared would just remain confidential to those that participated in the meeting. And that provided a background where people could be very open and frank. So 12 of 15 ISPs participated, and of those 12, 8 are applying for BEAD funding. And if they ask for a letter of support, they'll get one. So next slide. So let's just talk about the discussion slide. There you go. So generally speaking, we asked for a business overview contact information of key personnel? Could they discuss their target market, their range of services, their current and future broadband expansion activities, outreach program and community support, and customer service, local support, and commitment to the county? Next. We wanted to understand in pretty good detail what their broadband expansion activities were. What was their level of funding? Were they internally capitalized? Were they dependent on grants and awards to move forward? Specifically, what areas were they serving and what were their target markets in our county? What types of service were they going to provide? Fiber to the premises as an example. What could they envision the time frame to be? What issues or barriers to performance might they encounter that we could help mitigate for them? What were their customer service practices? And we kind of dove into this a little bit because at either extreme, you can have a customer service practice that is reactive, meaning that the customer identifies the problem, reports the problem, begs you to fix the problem, and even pays you to fix the problem. Or on the other extreme is a proactive customer service profile, where the company stays out in front of the problems, and in most cases, the customers never have one. So we wanted to see where along that spectrum these companies were operating. And then again, we asked for what kind of support did they need from the ICBC? And it turns out that particularly for companies that are headquartered outside of the state, many do not have feet on the ground in our state at this time. So they don't know much about our local market, our county, who the leaders are. So an outcome of this has been for us to set up meetings to introduce those companies, not just in connection with the BEAD program, but particularly with the RDOF program that is in place today. Over 2/3 of our current funded but not deployed locations are RDOF funded, and they're not going to begin until January and April of next year. So we're setting up meetings as a result of these interviews to help these companies meet with local mayors, city council people, county judge, etc. Next slide, please. So we did want to get into the range of services. Tell us about your monthly pricing and recurring charges, speed and bandwidths, data limits, overages, throttling practices, if you have any at all. And specifically with respect to BEAD, talk to us about your outreach programming and your plans for community support, specifically around affordability and digital skills. And it was interesting that some really had not thought that through. That became apparent that they weren't real sure how to address the affordability component or the digital skills component. So that's something to look out for. An outcome now that we're implementing this week to coordinate letter support is we put together a letter for the county judge to send to all elected officials, alerting them to potential requests for letters of support related to BEAD. And we provided a list of ISPs that we had interviewed and feel that they merit letters of support. And we asked that if someone not on that list approaches them regarding a letter of support, simply be in touch with the county judge, and we'll convene an ICBC meeting and conduct an interview, and things will be back in proper order. So I'll be happy to answer any questions.
It's larger.
Yeah. And Glenn, if you would, when you post this, if you would just make sure to add my email address and my telephone number. If people have questions, I'll be happy to respond personally to them.
Hey, sir, Jesse Griffin, Drew County. Can you hear me?
Hey, Jesse, go ahead.
My question is twofold. First of all, we know which companies are coming in to for an example, Drew County, and I think Independence County is doing a great job there. But the tracking mechanism is the same questions that we're asked, and is the same ones that pretty well what he's asked, and that's a great benefit there that we can add what we've got back to it. When we establish this, if they're not meeting the goal of that, the broadband at the state levels, we report that to y'all and say, hey, look, we're not getting the service we need. What's the mechanism to report back that it's not coming? Or if the service is good, that we can report back. So it just goes back to the broadband committee or back to you at the state level.
Hey, Judge. Yeah, great questions there. Yeah, I think, funneling those issues, questions, and even, appraises through our office, that works, whether it's our grant, or a different federal grant like RDOF, like Hal's referencing there. We can work to either, again, if it's our grant, we can work to take action on that. If it's a different federal grant that you're concerned or having praise for, we would be able to connect you with the right folks. And so either way, bringing that to our office's attention is the perfect avenue for that.
Okay. We've had a meeting down here with RDAT and all those and the construction companies, and the guys are going to lay it all, and for one of the companies, not the other ones that's still out there to be bid. How they get it across the roads and how they mark it and things of that nature. That was a great session we had. The gentleman that ran that did an excellent job. So we're excited about getting it started. We just need to get it started now. We're ready to put some line in the ground, and then as Hiram said too, is going to, or Glenn said, the biggest problem eventually is what's going to be the cost, and to the consumer. But we got to put it in the ground first, then figure that out. So anyway, okay, thank you.
Thanks, Judge. Appreciate you. We'll go through the hands up and that are active right now, and then we'll go to the chat box. So, Catherine, good morning. You're on mute, Catherine. Catherine, you're on mute. Catherine, if you can hear me, you're on mute, okay? Okay. Yeah, Catherine, we're having trouble hearing you. Okay, so what we'll do, if you just want to maybe throw it in the chat box, and we'll see if we can go from there. Let's see, let me check if we have any other hands up at the moment. I don't see any. So we'll go into the chat box and take a look. And again, we can have questions about what Hal presented on with the committee. We can have questions about the BEAD program and process, anything that we talked about, myself or Cam or Philip, anything folks want to talk about. So let's go to the chat box and take a look and see what we have. I'm impressed and excited that a lot of folks are using these AI note takers, which is great. Let's see. So Jessica said, so with that new survey, we can update members, etc. Jessica, you want to come off mute real quick and expand on that for me?
Yeah, that was for Cam. He was talking about the new survey, or like he was going to send one out today to update our membership and that kind of thing. That was about that.
Okay, Cam.
Yeah, let me hop in. So that wasn't the idea around it, Jessica. It was just going to be a simple survey just for approval to post your email address on the website. But that's a good idea moving forward, and I could work on something along those lines to get an updated rosters across the state as we move into 2025. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, great idea, Jessica. Appreciate it. Okay, so Catherine said, Cam, can you share a list of the counties you are missing that other folks may be able to help out? So we probably can do that. What do you think?
Yep, we definitely can share within the notes today.
Yeah, so when we do the follow-up communication, we can list out the counties that currently have not, since we started the process last year, have not submitted a county committee list to us just yet. Let's see. We got some more AI note takers, so that's good. Let's see. Thank you. Great. Thanks for stealing it. All right, Hal. Looks like Carroll County is going to steal the concept, which is good. That's what we want. Fantastic. Let's see. Email the notes. Yeah, Rick. So our team does not do AI notes. So a couple of things. As always, we send out an email communication following these calls. It's not AI generated. Our team takes great notes, and so we do have notes that the team takes that we send out in the email. So that should go out today, and we'll include a couple of things, including obviously the slide deck we looked at today, along with the list of 21 counties that we still have not received an official county committee list from just yet, and other things. So you should be able to see that in the email that we send out later today. Okay. Let's see. Alicia said we send out a recording. So we record these and then post them on the YouTube webpage, and that'll happen. So we'll be able to have that available for everyone as well. Okay. Let me take a look at something real quick. All right, that's all we have at the moment. So I just want to take a second because we have plenty of time. We won't keep everybody too long, I promise. But Hal, for you, as you and the Independence County Committee, developed, I guess probably iterated and developed and then executed on this process, what would be your kind of key takeaways or learnings from developing and kind of how you wanted to structure what you did and then executing it and kind of the results you've had so far? What are your kind of key learnings or takeaways from the whole process that may be beneficial for folks? Oh, we got you on mute there.
There. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
I think the most helpful thing was the guide and advancing so that the participants could formulate their responses in advance. They weren't hit cold with questions. It also gave us a chance as a committee to think through what was important to us and see if we could communicate that in a discussion guide to frame up those interviews. That was the key to the whole thing.
So really kind of sending the discussion guide in advance, right,
Yeah.
was very helpful for you to the ISPs
Right.
to have them prepared. Okay.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. Some of the people who we engaged with were professional um, uh, people who had the title of government affairs, or they were part of the communication team, and they were skilled and adept at responding to questions, whether that was face to face or on a video call. Others were single proprietors who didn't do this every day, so it helped them organize their thoughts, and some of them discussed without any notes at all. They just spoke from their heart about what they felt about their business, what they felt about the community, but having that framework within which they could plan their discussion, I think that was helpful for everyone.
Very good. Thank you, Hal. And yeah,
Bet.
Catherine had a great suggestion. Hal, if you're okay with it, we can give everyone your contact email. If they
Sure.
want to reach out to you, we can do that.
Oh, yes, absolutely. You can give them my cell phone number too. That's easy.
Okay, we'll do
Text
that.
or email, call, whatever.
Very good. Very good. All right, so as we wrap here shortly, a couple of reminders. So we have our round one launch date, Tuesday, January 7th. That's really exciting. Look, folks, I'm very transparent. We don't hide anything. Our pre-registration numbers are very good from the ISP. So we should be really excited as a state with the date coming very soon to finally get started in this process after all this talking the last year or so. Let me make sure we don't have anything else in the bucket. Okay, I don't see anything. So again, as always, we'll have a follow-up email that'll follow this meeting with all the information and good notes that was taken. The next meeting of ABLN will be in 2 weeks on December 6th. So Hal, thank you for having the content today. Very good presentation. You guys are doing great work in Independence County. Look forward to continuing to work with you guys to make this thing a success. And we will see everyone in 2 weeks. Thank you.
Take care.